What's up, guys? Before we dive into today's interview, I'm hoping for some help as I'm starting a new podcast up. I've interviewed professional dunkers, professional athletes in other fields, and people successful in the business arena. I'm playing with in the air, on the air as the name, as I love jumping in the air and a play on words with like live on the air. Let me know if you like the name, like the logo, have any suggestions on those or how to make the pod better, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you could like and subscribe if you're not already, that really helps out the channel. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. On today's episode, I'm joined by a very special guest, Ernesto, or Dunk Expo on Instagram. Ernesto just turned 49, but is still out here defying gravity. In fact, he's jumping higher than ever and hitting new dunks. This year alone, he's hit tomahawks, windmills, and 2M 360s for the first time. While most of us are looking for the fountain of youth, Ernesto might have actually found it and dunked on it. His love for basketball runs deep. Starting with playing alongside his dad, it's fueled a lifelong passion for performance. He's won some basketball tournaments and tried many vertical programs. We dive into all that as well as what it takes to keep pushing athletic limits beyond your prime, and why age might just be another number, especially when your vertical keeps going up. At only 6 feet tall, 49 years old, this guy needs to be studied. He's doing something right. And if you want to learn how to continue improving into your late athletic prime or even outside of it, this is one you're going to want to tune in for. Countdown. Ernesto. Okay.
I'm totally shivering.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back to the pod. I'm here with Ernesto, 48 years old, phenom on social media. Give him a follow. He's awesome. So inspiring.
Too kind.
Yeah, he can get up there. And I mean, he's 48. I know he doesn't look it. I mean, honestly, have you, first off, actually, thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you, man. This is very cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's not every day I'm interviewed up for something, so this is humbling. I don't know, something. This is nice.
So, first things first, have you verified your birth certificate? Because I'm not kidding. I know I've already said this to you, but you don't look 48 at all. And you definitely don't move like you're 48. You do basketball tournaments. You crush it there. You're dunking.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Have you checked it?
Too
Honestly.
kind. I have the photos of when I was born in 76. So, yeah. And then I get my, birth certificate wise, I actually have it upstairs.
With you?
I do get tested, actually at different tournaments, for my age and my Filipino heritage too. So I play in a lot of Filipino leagues, basketball leagues and tournaments and things of that nature. So it comes up.
Yeah. So run me real quick your background, where you grew up, your athletic history. Just give me a little lay of the land.
Born and raised Flint, Michigan. My parents, they're both Filipino. I get this question asked a lot. So I'll just throw out there, my mom's from Manila, my dad's from Cebu, so hardcore Filipino. Athletic history.
Did you play sports growing up?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, love my dad. He passed away a few years ago, and he brought me up into the basketball lifestyle. He loved basketball, big follower of Detroit Pistons. We used to travel back to the Philippines all the time, and we'd every single time we'd go play with my cousins out there, there'd be people playing in their sandals, flip-flops, barefoot, but ball is life kind of thing. And played growing up in elementary schools and summer leagues and things of that nature, different camps.
All basketball or any other sports?
Predominantly basketball, all basketball. But I did a lot of other different things like swim team and golf. Played golf 4 years of high school. And then in college, I ended up joining a Filipino league in Detroit. And we used to, from East Lansing, I went to Michigan State, go green. We used to go to Detroit every friggin' weekend which is like an hour or so drive from East Lansing, to play in a league out there that was super competitive, super fun, and ended up getting on the inner city tournaments. So they kind of picked the best of the best, which I'm very blessed and thankful. I was a bench warmer. We had an all-star team of guys that some of them eventually played professional over in the Philippines. But I ran with Detroit, and we'd go play in Toronto and Chicago and Philly and CPOG, which is Staten Island. We'd go play all over the place. And then fast forward to today, that was when I was in my early 20s, late teens to early 20s, to now I'm 48, in my 40s, and a bunch of us have gotten together, and everybody's spread out. Like we've got friends in Florida, some still in Michigan, Arizona, California, all over the place, and we unite to go play in an annual tournament. It's an Asian tournament, and we call our team Motown Cactus, represent. We've won the championship there.
Wow.
We've been close to winning back to back, and then we end up in the semifinals. But it's a very competitive league. We've done open division, played 35 plus, 40 plus now. But it's a lot of fun. Now it's more about the camaraderie. We're still competitive, but a lot of it's just being bros that get to hang out and enjoy the game of basketball together. That brought us together back in the day. So very cool stuff.
Nice. When did you get your first dunk?
That's a good question, because guys talk about it that are very passionate and serious about dunking. I don't know the exact rim height, right?
Right.
I've thrown down some dunks in high school, but again, I don't know what the rim heights were. But it wasn't really like, all right, that was the thing and the most memorable moment for me. And then in college, during inner city or the Detroit League, really, I would throw down some dunks here or there. But I really didn't. It was just, there was no social media back then. There was no YouTube,
Right.
no nothing to pick up and learn from. And it was just guys like.
You can't go back to a specific video because no one really was filming their stuff like that, right?
I have a photo of me like coming down from what looks like a dunk.
Okay.
But my rim in my driveway was bent. The backboard was like particle board falling apart at that point in time because I yammed on it so many times, I guess.
Yeah.
That's probably how. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't have a particular moment. Like I was always just kind of hanging on that rim, yamming on that rim. Come to think of it.
Was it always one-handers, or have you done other stuff too?
So predominantly one-handers.
Okay.
But now today, I'll do two-hand dunks. I'll do off lob, right? I've felt pretty good. I'm getting close to feeling pretty good to. There are days where I feel like I can throw a two-hander down off the dribble, but work in progress, right? My favorite dunk, or what might be my most challenging dunk, is the 360. So I'm happy about that, but I want to get more in the bag, definitely.
Dang, 360, that's crazy, man. I have a lot of trouble with that one myself at 32.
I find that hard to believe, man. 40 plus inch vertical, like you've been killing it, dude. Like,
speaking of which, can you run us through your numbers that you scored on Monday?
Oh yeah, sure, man. I was able to do a standing vert touch of 123, and then a running vert touch of 130, which is a PR for me.
And 130 is in feet and inches for those.
I'm sorry. 130 inches, which is 10-10 essentially.
10-10,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 foot is a regulation rim, or 120 inches, and then 130 is 10 inches above it. So yeah,
and typically around 10-6 is when people can dunk. So 10-10, that's comfortable. And when I saw you get that score, that's when I knew I had to talk to you, because at 48 to jump that high is freaking insane. How tall are you for the kids at home?
I'm 6 foot, kids. You can do it too when you turn 48. No, you'll be jumping way higher than me. I mean, y'all are evolving. The generations are just and there's so much knowledge out there that's being shared today, which is super awesome.
Yeah. I actually think you'll be more inspiring for those who are in their late athletic prime and they're going to want to study you. What I thought was interesting this week is I've heard you ask questions to the pros about jumping and recovery, but I don't think you realize some of those guys, if they really did the math, would want to ask you those questions.
Too kind.
So let's just tell me like 3 or 4 or whatever comes to mind of like your top things in terms of recovery, and then we'll go to some vertical jumps stuff after. But let's start with recovery.
Recovery, I will say it is extremely important to have rest days between your leg days and or a significant plyo or a significant basketball day. You need that recovery time. I've seen guys that come out on the court and they're high flyers, and I've also seen them leave the court early. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, I got my work in, right? And I've noticed that, and so I try to kind of follow their lead, like get your game sessions in and then get out of there, because you don't want to get to the point of fatigue and then you're just jogging up and down the court. You're not really having an explosive event. So yeah, that's recovery is really big in terms of like spacing out the time frame. The other thing that I happen to do, I hydrate a lot. I drink a lot of water, so I stay hydrated throughout the day. And then in addition to that, something that I've just kind of picked up on is I have a massager like that's actually for your shoulders, but I utilize it on my legs, and you can utilize it on your calves. So I make sure to hit the hamstrings, calves, both sides.
And how often are you hitting that? So like after every game or the next day or both, or
I'm just gonna say at least like 4 days out of the week I'm doing it. So
all right.
Yeah,
so massaging might be key.
Yeah, it's a thing. I considered bringing it here this week, and I kind of wish I had. Because like you don't have to like use the Theragun to massage your legs out. It's like you set it and then you lay on it. And you're good.
Just chill. Yeah, and you relax.
You can watch TV. You can be on your laptop. You can be on your phone. You can do whatever, and then you're good to go. And you're getting some. It's moving things around, so I feel like blood flow is happening.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's true or not, placebo effect. The guys have been talking about placebo effect, so that's the thing. The other, like you talk about recovery, I'll just say, at my age, I've gone through back surgery, L5S1 microdiscectomy back in 2012. It was a basketball injury. So my big thing now is 20-minute, 30-minute warm-up. I'm cool with that. Guys might ask me to go, hey, you want to run 5s? We need one more. I'm like,
nothing's disturbing your warm-up period.
Warm-up is major keys. Like, I need to warm up. I think that also kind of got me on Tuesday where we did the 3-man weave and all of that. And I don't know if I was fully warmed up. 3-man weave dunks.
Yeah.
I was just like, but I was excited. I was like, that was like the first time I may not have done a full 20, 30-minute warm-up just before going into the session. So.
Gotcha. Okay. And then walk us through how many like vertical jump programs you've done. Just whatever comes to mind, because you've done a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a great one. And a lot to kind of go through. First and foremost, I've done jump soles.
Yeah.
So again, there wasn't a lot of social media back in the day, but jump soles was like a known, respected thing, so to speak, or it seemed to be.
Yeah.
I will say that I'm just gonna say everyone that's done jump soles,
mixed reviews.
At some point, they have concerns over their knees, but I think every jumper, dunker, that's doing a lot of plyos
has some concerns.
Is going to have it doesn't matter what program you're going to be on.
Yep.
But very like. I didn't measure my vert very often because I was never around a vert tech or a vert trainer for the dunk camp crew and Andy Nicholson. But in 2015, I moved to Minnesota, and they started this dream league for people that love to play basketball at Lifetime Fitness. And they were actually like scoring people based on their vertical, their shooting ability, all these things. And it was kind of like a combine. It was pretty cool. But I measured 127 and a half at that point in time running vert.
Okay.
And I also measured a 123 standing vert at that time. And that was solely off of doing like 2 months, 3 months of jump soles.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And then you've also done, you don't have to necessarily review all of them, but just name a few.
Sorry. Yeah. I'll make this other part quick. So I did vertical blueprint with ATG. I've done PJF, Paul Fabritz, PJF. What's it called? Vert Code Elite.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. I've done. What else have I done? Oh my gosh. I've done Project Pure Athlete as well, and I've done THP Strength, and there's probably 2 others in there that I'm forgetting right now. But I've done a number of programs, and I tried to do them anywhere from a bare minimum of 3 months to 6 months to 9 months. And really, that's not based on the program's ability to keep me going. It's more just life challenges, life responsibilities, work responsibilities. At this age, you got a lot of other things going on. So,
right.
So I need to step away, or I have to step away.
That's something that a lot of people don't really grasp, is that if you're doing it later, like there's a lot of demanding priorities. I feel like as you grow older, job, wife, if you have a kid on the way.
Got a kid on the way. Big shout
out
to Enzo if you're going to hear this later.
Hey, there we go. Shout out Enzo. But since you've done all those programs, maybe just say, and out of respect for those guys who own those programs, I won't ask which is your favorite, but I will ask, what are some of your favorite exercises that you feel like has really benefited you over the years or with your vertical? Especially recently, because you've just had one of the best jumps of your life, which is insane. So
thank you. So I'd say 2 things. One, I'd say, am I allowed to give shout outs?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. So major props to THP Strength, right? I'd never done power cleans ever.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy doing power cleans. I do think it has like a good explosive effect, and it's kind of like a quick, there's 2 major movements in there that I think are very similar to jumping, and I think it translates very well.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
So you got power cleans, and then the other comment I'd make is just back to the warm-ups. THP Strength really, throughout their programming, really got me going on the warm-ups. I'm like, man, there's a lot of volume, and I may not do at this point in time everything, but a lot of it I've incorporated from THP Strength. That's helped me a lot.
Okay, yeah, totally agree. They do a lot with priming your body, just little skips and things to slowly get you activated, and it kind of ramps up. I totally agree with that. So just power cleans and the warm-ups. Anything else that comes to mind?
Oh, I mean, you've got to incorporate a back squat or a front squat. Either type of squat is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, those I think like you can have accessibility to, right? Get a bar or get dumbbells and do some motions of that. Deadlifts are outstanding as well. But I wish I had a hip thrust machine, right? I wish I had my own seated calf raise machine. And I'm just saying this for the general public that may not be able to get to an LA Fitness or Lifetime Fitness or any type of gym or YMCA, right? So, but if you can get your hands on some dumbbells with some material weight that you can graduate up to, and or Olympic weights or Olympic bar, then you have a lot of tools to increase your vertical.
Yeah, I think if there's anything I've learned from like all these different jumpers, is it doesn't necessarily matter the exercise per se, as long as you have something you can use and you can try to elevate it slowly over time, right?
Absolutely.
But Ernesto, Dunk Expo on Instagram again. Thank you so much for coming out here, answering a couple questions for me, dog.
Super awesome, man. I appreciate it, Alex.
Big inspiration to me for many years, and so it's been great to meet you this week.
Vice versa, this guy's got a killer vertical, man, and what he's accomplished since 2019. Like, someone should interview you. Maybe that's already transpired, and maybe we should, trade trade stories here. But man, to see what he's done since 2019, I've been messaging him on IG saying, "What are you doing?" Right? Like, and then to see you actually in person and achieve what you've achieved today, so just amazing, crazy. Like, I'm like stoked for you. So
appreciate it,
awesome.
bro. Thanks again.
Good stuff, brother. Thank you, Alex.
All right.
Yeah. A wrap. 49 years old. Lob 362 hands. Let's go! 49! Woo! Lob 362 hands.